Hey everyone, it's the Conqueror here, and in today's video I'll be going over how to 1v9 on Bel'Veth in Platinum. If you have any questions, you're welcome to ask during my stream over at twitch.tv/theconnic every day at 6 PM CST, or leave a comment here or over on Discord and I'll be sure to answer it. Typically on Bel'Veth, you just want to farm up, play safe, and scale up. This by no means means you're weak early or you can't do anything early. It just means you have to know your limits and you have to just play very smart, and you can't ignore your farm, otherwise you just won't be at the levels of stacks you need to be at any point in the game. In this game they try to cheese us with an invade, so I drop an early ward on my red just to make sure no one dies and no one has to stand there with a Blitzcrank, and he pays off with his Hex Flash over the wall without vision. Typically into Blitzcrank you either want to just 5-stack a brush like over here or here and just see if they invade, and if they do and y'all are 5-stacked, you just get to insta hit everybody and just burst somebody down, and then it automatically turns to an invade in your favor, because against the Blitzcrank it's almost obvious that they're gonna invade, and even if they don't, then you know your laners just go about their day and go to their lanes with enough time to spare. But you do want that warden just to be sure you're not getting cheesed, because worst case scenario you ward over here and you get to spot a Blitzcrank who's trying to cheese you by pulling your buff or a late invade. There are a lot of advantages to just warding against the invade, because Blitz is a very strong early game jungler and he has a lot of ways to mess you over or stall your clear, which is really bad on Bel'Veth. So in this game we decided to path top because it's a Fiora Mordekaiser matchup. They both have ignites, so it's going to be a very all-in, very fighty top lane, because they just want to kill each other. That's why they both took ignites. It's a very volatile, snowbally matchup at this point. Now as Bel'Veth, in situations where you just want to get top, you have the option of 5 camping, skipping Krugs and just going for it. But in this game I opt for a full clear because I'm up against the Yi and it's going to be a CS battle eventually, and I know Yi is obviously going to full clear, so I do these two at the same time to save time. And in the situation where you want to do 2 camps at the same time here, it's very doable, but one thing to note is you need an E when you're starting off and you need a smite charge, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to get one of them as low as it can get for your E's damage, because it does more damage the lower health they have. Let's speed this up. I go back and I get my first items. Typically you want to rush Noon Quiver on Bel'Veth because it really boosts your clear speed. I see my team fighting and I know Yi is going to be there, so I'm there just in case anything happens. We get Yi's flash, we use the Scry Knob to deny the enemy team, and then we fall back to our camps, because like I said, you really want your stacks, you really want to outfarm the Yi, because Bel'Veth and Yi are very similar champions in that they both do a lot of true damage, they both want to auto attack a lot, they both have damage reductions, they both have a lot. So you really want to win the CS battle. At this point, I'm looking at my lanes to see if there's any gank. I see there's nothing mid, but I'm also aware that I might have to counter gank a Yi gank soon. So I'm watching out. Top backs off, so I know there's no gank there. We just sweep around looking for where Yi is. We don't see anything, so we just deny him any resource we can. Now Lissandra is 6, so we want to go mid to use her ultimate. We sight Yi towards Dragon, and I hover for a bit, waiting to see if Lissandra goes in with the ulti. So the moment she goes in, I go in instantly, and we get Victor's flash. Now we see him drop a control ward, and we see where bot and mid lane are, so we know we're safe to get that ward. It's fine if he gets the first Drake, it's no big deal. He already has the stronger laners. We don't really have to prioritize Drakes up until the second, third Drake. Now we see him on it, and I know we can collapse on him because we have the vision advantage. My team fails to rotate there with Lissandra not moving, so I end up dying instead of us getting the Yi kill, which was unfortunate. But my team does clean up, so that's big for us. Next we get our Noon Quiver, which, like I said, really boosts our attack speed and clear speed all in general. So now we just want to go back into clearing. And now we have our eyes set on the Rift. For that Drake play, the correct play would have just been to keep an eye on my lanes and know who's moving, because the Blitz and the ADC also moved before my bot lane. And if I was paying attention to that, I would know not to commit too hard. So we know Yi died bot, and he's probably looking to clear his top side, so we know this is a safe Rift. Now I'm looking to counter gank the list, but then I see 3 people and I know it's a lost fight. So here my Fiora pings that she's gonna bait his ulti, so she does and survives. So we go in on the Mordekaiser. Get a free kill. And something people don't know about Bel'Veth in that situation is, even if you're in a brush or she loses vision of you, her E is still going to hit you regardless. So that's why I E there, knowing he was going to enter Fog of War, but I just lacked the damage to instantly finish him off, so we had to go into the alcove. But regardless, it was a guaranteed kill without any fear of E, killing us. Now there's nobody to defend the turret, so we just decide we're gonna take it, because Bel'Veth's pushing power with Rift is really huge, and that's first tower. With all the gold we just got, and with the fact that we know Yi is not here, we choose to take this. If I remember correctly, we actually sighted Yi bot lane, so we knew this was like a safe invade. But at the same time, we also do not want to commit with a Mordekaiser above us. So we deny the Krugs, we see him bot, so then we're going in for more camps if we can see. We see the red is down and then Raptors are up, so we take that and just full clear. Yi dies bot lane, which is huge. Now I'm looking mid, but Victor just has so much damage early compared to like a Bel'Veth who scales up, so that doesn't go right. We could have played the gank better, probably delaying our W there, maybe not dashing into him until he drops his W so we don't get stunned. That might have been the way to play that gank. Now I want to defend against the Mordekaiser, but I do not want to do it without help because I know he can and will kill me if I misplay it. So now I'm just fighting him on that turret, and the moment he shields, I leave. I get pulled in and ulted, so I just want to fight on that turret and E and just buy as much time as I can. Unfortunately, it's not quite enough to kill him, and he's able to escape the Fiora. She misses a dash over the wall, which I kind of found hilarious during the game, not gonna lie, but happens, you know, happens to the best of us. Now we have our entire bot side up and we see Yi, so we go to farm. Yi and Blitz are both low, so I'm looking to make something happen with Drake because they cannot contest unless they back, and if they back, the Drake should be gone already. There's no point in leaving it up for them to contest. So we're seeing them pinging people, but we just want to farm at this point. When we see Yi, and now it's time to peel off the camp. See if it's a fight we can win. Yi backs off, but they don't know I'm here, so we have the element of surprise. The moment bot lane commits, I start going in. I think we're able to pick up a double kill here. Jhin picks up the virus and I pick up the Blitzcrank. And at this point, the game is looking pretty good. Yi is still ahead, but in this play, the Lissandra had ulti, and I had the damage to kill the Victor, regardless of my Lena. So I knew that was a good play to go, as opposed to the last one where I was relying on my Lena's damage because I didn't have the items yet. We see Mord and we want to bait him into fighting just because we have our dashes over the wall. So we're trying to bait out his ulti. Just be very annoying while my team collapses and he tries to ulti, you know me. Here I misplay because I misused my dash, so I don't actually go over the wall. But if I went over the wall there, I do not die and my Fiora cleans it up. It was a minor mechanical misplay with the way Mord's ulti is shaped. You know, it's circular, so that was the edge of the arena and it just couldn't quite go over half the wall without leaving the arena, so it just kept me there instead. So if you're in that situation, try not to dash too close to the wall. We see them on Rift and I want to contest, but I'm not entirely sure my team wants to, so I just clear wards and I wait to see how my team reacts. We see the Yi and we see the Blitzcrank. We failed to dodge the hook, which was unfortunate, but we do turn it. We kill the Yi, we kill the Blitzcrank because my team finally comes. And now we just want to defend this as best as we can. And now we know Mordekaiser doesn't have his ulti, so there's no way he beats us. Now the correct play is with my health not to get stunned. I don't need to go for this fight. Either I don't go for the fight or I play a lot slower and make sure I do not. Lissandra plays this pretty good. Flashes, the Q, pretty good. Might be overkill because he missed his, was it E? I think that's Victor's E. But yeah, the correct play for me is to just not go back in, or to just play it a lot slower, wait for him to use his cooldown because he's a mage, and then just kill him afterwards. And to definitely not get stunned. We get back and we want to farm up. Because on Bel'Veth, the name of the game is farm. You need farm. Because eventually, if you do your job right and you farm well, you will be able to 1v1 anybody in the side lane. So when you do get Baron Nashor, you're just able to split push and be a monster they have to respond to, and nobody can actually respond to. So they send 3, so your team just gets the objectives elsewhere, and they can't catch you because of your multiple dashes. So in this fight, my team engages and we see a more top, so we want to fight because we're 5. We have the man advantage. Then as soon as the Drake is gotten, ping my team off of it so they actually go and stop the Mort's push. This was a very big play for us because we get 4 of them dead. We get 4 of them dead and we get Drake. Now they're back and all I'm doing here is I'm watching. I see the TP going in and I know I can get this and dip before they're able to collapse on me. It was risky, but I knew I had the time with my dashes and everything to make it. I tried to get a play here. Varus uses ulti on Lissandra. Lissandra still goes in when there's a E, which I'm playing very slow because I know he's looking for it. I use my E to burst the Blitzcrank down, and then we just focus on killing the E. And from then, at this point, it's up to us to just not throw our lead. We just need to snowball and play very smart because we haven't reached the point where we're tanky. Note, on my build with Bel'Veth, I go Kraken into Death Dance typically. This isn't the best per se. Here I see him ward and I want to declare it, and I know he cannot ult me. If he ults me, I just go over the wall. He knows that too, so he doesn't bother. So we clear vision and I go back to farming. My team doesn't want to risk it, and now the enemy jungle is alive, so we don't want to 50-50 that Baron. Like I said, we have to play smart. Now back to my build. The reason I go Kraken into Death Dance in games like this is because they have a lot of damage. So I'm trying to become survivable whilst having damage. They pick up the Vel'Koz, which makes me know that there's a ward there. I clear it, and I see them playing around bot. And something people don't know about Bel'Veth is she doesn't need much to solo Nash. She can solo it with just 2 items. I drop the ward and make it seem like I'm leaving. Then once I know the vision has dropped on the ward, I actually start taking it because I see their attention is bot lane. So this is free so long as no one shows up, and if anybody looks like they're rotating, I would just fall off. Jhin comes to help me, which, you know, makes the situation a lot easier. And I actually, at this point, I don't think I'm strong enough to solo the Nash. Typically you just need Kraken and Borg to solo, but because I'm not going Borg second, soloing is not much of an option. So at that point, you actually get the ability to solo Nash from 3 items in. Once you have your Kraken, your Death Stance, and probably more, then you can solo. Then any item from there just makes it a lot faster to solo Baron Nashor. Now we see the Blitzcrank here. We're not entirely sure where his teammates are, so I'm playing it slow. I'm trying to bait out skill shots from anybody, then I see that there's just nobody, so he's just dead. Drake is coming up, so that's big for the Drake. He still comes back in time, but he's not alive enough to ward up. You know, we have vision control now. You're making use of my dashes through wall just to make sure I check everywhere and clear every bush. Now I want to make sure I don't get picked up. I see where 2 out of the 4 alive people are, so I know I should be safe, and worst case scenario, I dash over a wall. He is looking for something, so I'm looking to pick him off. He's not in the bush like I expected him to be because I thought it was collapsing on my Lissandra. But at this point, we have vision control. They have to face check us if they want to contest. We see Mord mid, we see Victor bot, we see Yi mid. So we decide to just burst the Drake, knowing they don't have vision and they can't just face check us. Fights burst through and Mord comes in with the ulti. I tried to stall for Drake for the ulti to run out. It does. Then I smite Drake, but he just narrowly kills me. My team cleans up and we're able to just push for objectives. Fiora has to back for to make sure the new inhib doesn't get destroyed by the old super minions. Lissandra pushes, and at this point I'm watching their death timers and I'm watching this Hex Gate, because even in Fog of War, if someone uses the Hex Gate, it shows. So I was just watching it for the Lissandra, so this moment it picks up, I start pinging her back. And I think she was watching it too, because she reacts instantly and just leaves. Now we don't have our Empower form, so we don't want to go as Ham. We now have completed more, and we started building. I think it was Borg I built next this game, because next item you can either go Borg, you can go Witsend. They have a good amount of AP, so you're justified in going Witsend. You're justified in going Borg. Borg is better if you want to solo. If you want to solo the Nash in the Mord in his ulti, Borg is a lot better. Now we just clear vision, and we don't know where anyone is, so we don't want to do anything too crazy. We see where two of them are, and at this point I want to bait out the Mord's ulti. I don't think I can beat him just yet, but I know I can bait out the ulti. I knock him up because I know he should be there. I use my damage reduction and I get over the wall. Now we know Mord doesn't have his ulti, so that takes away a lot of his combat power. We back and now are ready to pressure. We no longer have our empowered form, but they're able to kill the Varus without his ulti, and they're able to kill the Mordekaiser because of, again, they both use their ultis. We see Blitzcrank there taking wards, and I'm like, why are you here? You have no team here. You shouldn't be here. It doesn't make sense. So we collapse on him, kill him so I can get my form. Knock him up for the Q resets, burst him, and get his form. Now they're pushing, and my team died to the Yi and the Victor, so we can't do too much. But we definitely can beat an ultless Victor, because we have more. We have Death Stance. We're good in the fight. And if Yi shows up, he doesn't have ulti. He just killed my team. There's no way he has. He gets caught out by my Fiora, and I know the Nash is free, so that's all I'm looking for. So we just sit in this brush and try to pick out the Varus. He ults me, and I don't think we can catch up to him. Oh, we do. Good thing we have the attack speed here. Mord ultis the Fiora, so I'm just going to stay in the area because I know I can just beat him at this point. I killed the Blitzcrank's hook because I don't want to get pulled. And now it's a free Nash. So we just get that, and know we're just, once we go back, we'll have our complete Borg, and we'd be unkillable by anybody. In the 1v1, nobody can match us. Nobody can stop our push. We can probably dive anybody at that point. I see someone drop a ward. I'm wondering who it is. Then I see the Blitzcrank. Reason I felt safe to go over the wall there is because I am Bel'Veth. I can easily just go back over the wall in the opposite direction and retreat to safety if need be. We see their team, and I don't know where everybody is, so I'm just going to take the safe route and go for Drake. My Jhin is low too. Then I see my Lissandra TPing in, so I don't want to just leave her high and dry. She just absolutely obliterates the virus, so I'm going for Drake, which should be very free while my team pushes. Fiora decides to help me, which was very unnecessary, but I don't mind. I go back, I get my Borg, and at this point I just decide to push top because no one can stop my split push, and my team is good without me. I could go for the 5v5, but then what could happen is I get chunked, and then Mord ultis me while I'm low or without E. So instead of risking, having to deal with multiple abilities, I'll just get the solo gold from getting turrets. I get engaged on by the E, and there's no way I lose that. There's just no way I lose that against the E. I tried to dive the Victor. He just narrowly escapes, and it's GG from here on. There's barely anything they could have done after I got the first Nash, actually. And that is how to 1v9 as Bel'Veth.